Hello all. Oh, Gecko. Gecko's here for a beer review. Hello all, and welcome to tonight's beer review, which I am dubbing the long shot beer review because I just the microbrewery in my town just had an opening for cellarman or slash brewer's assistant. It's a pretty small brewery. It's a 2-man operation, 2 or 3-man operation, I think, depending on how you go and categorize it. And you know, they want someone with experience, but I don't have any experience other than being a drinker of a lot of beer and a very hard worker. So it's fairly long shot, I would say. But I put it in anyway. Here's to hoping, yeah? So, the beer we are going to be reviewing tonight is Redhook's Audible Ale. Now, the cover here says, a crushable ale brewed in collaboration with Dan Patrick. I don't know who Dan Patrick is. Apparently he's a sportscaster of some sort. And crushable, I guess, is what they mean. It is what they use to say sessionable, because this is eminently sessionable. This is one of the lighter beers I'm going to be reviewing here. It's 4.7 ABV, so it's pretty light for a pale ale. You usually only see British-style pale ales that light in body, but this actually had a pretty New World profile to it. So, let's get to it, shall we? Giving it a fairly vigorous pour because the head's kind of quick-lived on these. So, very light-colored pale ale. A nicely clear yellow-orange, or orange-yellow, depending on how you would prefer to find it. I would say, let me go get something like pumpkins. Yeah, it's more towards the orange color. Still fairly light for a pale ale. With a frothy white head that's quickly dissipating. So it's poured at 2 fingers, already down to half. So, first to get really the citrus malts going. Very citrusy. You can kind of tell that they are more leaning to a New World style of hopping. Citrusy, some florals there. Not much in the way of resin or anything like that, but definitely New World hops. Malting isn't very present, but kind of expecting it to be kind of subdued, given the lightness. Some slightly sweet crackery malts. Extremely light on the palate. Feels almost like flavored water. Very refreshing, considering that I was working in about a 95 to 98 degree room today. Then like a madman, I tried to run when I came home. So this is actually kind of hitting the spot a little bit. Barely perceived malts in the front and mid. Kind of somewhere in between crackery and bready. Just a ghost. Not much sweetness to it. Not much oomph, like I said. Very light bodied. Hopping is just a slight little bit of citrus rind. Some bitterness that's from start to finish. It's only really perceptible once you clear the palate there, and it's just you know, lingering, slightly bitter finish. Honestly, not much complexity here at all. But when they're saying there's a crushable brew, yeah, I would say that. This is not something you're going to be drinking to go and have a whole bunch of taste going on here. You're basically drinking it because you're watching the game or because you just finished mowing the lawn. It's got more flavor than, say, a light lager would. I would almost describe this as a light ale, if you can forgive me that, because it has a lot of the characteristics of being a little bit like a light lager, very light-bodied, not much in the way of taste, pretty refreshing when you're in the mood for something like that. Can definitely see some pounding this one after mowing the lawn, that's for sure. But, you know, having a bit more of that sort of, for lack of better words, pale ale sort of taste to it. So you're getting an ale instead of a lager. So there's taste there. Just not too much of it, but it's not pretending to go and have a lot of it. I could really slam this back right now. It's like one of those ones where you just have to go gulp, 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 you know? Would I drink this for taste? No. Might make something pretty good beer to go and pair with food, much like a lager, because I'm one of those people who don't really like pair beer with food, you know, strong tasting beer with food too much because, well, I find it doesn't pair as easily as wine does. Love wine with food, but generally not by. But generally, I don't like wine by itself. Love it with food. Don't much care for it by itself unless it's, say, like the Madeira or something. Beer, other way around. Love it by itself usually. Don't really much like it with food. So, but I'm digressing. Redhook Audible Ale. Well, it's pretty cheap. It's not pretending to be, you know, a taste fest. Pretty much says on it, this is supposed to be crushable, which means you're supposed to kind of drink it and forget it. And it's pretty good at that. So, that's your beer review for tonight, Redhook Audible Ale. Cheers.